Hereinspaziert, hereinspaziert. Ich heiße zum einen Marlon und euch zum anderen herzlich willkommen zur 8. Ausgabe der LoTechLounge. Wir haben ja eigentlich immer einen Gast hier, aber heute wurde ich gefragt, ob vielleicht noch jemand anderes dazukommen kann und wer kann schon Nein zu einem Cello sagen. Also viel Spaß mit Kendy Gable und Marie-Claire.
Time you've all the time. Well, I can't wait, you've used all of mine. Singing, sighing, lying words that rhyme. Well, I once knew a man who take blue and yellows, find gold things. Well, hear that song she sings. Oh, well, I don't mind the outside whenever the sun it shines. I've memorized inscriptions on stones long ago prophesied. Well, I've wandered far, I've wondered why. Well, I don't mind the outside whenever the sun it shines. I don't mind the outside whenever the sun it sing in my leaves. Hold wet ground, hold my feet as I run towards the sound. For all that comes to mind are all words from an ancient time. Oh, breathe your breath into mine. When I die, turn me to a tree so the birds will sing in my leaves. Oh, la da 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 la da 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 la da 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 la da 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 When I die, turn me to a tree so the birds will sing. They will sing, oh, they will sing, in my leaves. Thank you. Dankeschön. Vielen Dank.
Wir sind jetzt hier im Interview mit Kendy Gable. Bisschen was von dem Konzert habt ihr schon gehört. Und genau, Kendy. Hey, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, and Marie as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very happy to be here.
She's behind the camera and we can always look at her now. And Kendy's telling something about her. Somehow I always have very international guests in the LoTechLounge. I think it's because in Berlin, and nobody in Berlin is actually from Berlin. You're from Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Tell me something about it. Tell me something about your hometown, why you left it, and why you chose Berlin.
Very interesting question. So I grew up not in a town. I grew up on a farm in the country. Not many neighbors, not many people, very beautiful in the mountains. And I left because I was always a singer. I always sang from the time I was very young. And my parents, even though they were farmers, they really fed that art and talent in me, which was I really appreciate now, being older. And I first left and went to New York. Then I found myself going to Australia, back to New York, and now in Berlin. The scene in New York is wonderful for music, and especially folk music like I make. My music really started when I lived in Melbourne, Australia. It's such a beautiful place to create music there, and a great community. And music and love brought me to Berlin. So it was two things, but it's a community here where it's people from all different kinds of art and music that are here working together. It's a place that's affordable and inspiring. Berlin has so many stories. And my family actually came from Germany about 200 years ago, so it's a long time ago. But it's kind of fun to think about coming back, back over the ocean to live and build a life. So
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
And how long have you been here now?
I just had my year anniversary.
Yeah.
So January 11th, 2017 was when I arrived. And it's been so my second winter I'm entering. But
You're still here.
Yeah, and I'm still here. But being a New Yorker, you get used to it. But
Cool. So we're gonna celebrate your 1 year anniversary tonight.
Yes, we are.
And you've recorded some albums I've seen on Spotify and on the internet.
Yes.
And you just released your last album last fall, I saw. And you're already recording your next EP now?
Correct.
Tell us something about it.
About the new EP?
About your album and the EP.
Okay. The last album, The Knowledge of the Northwoods, it was written while I was living up in the Catskill Mountains and also in my last years in New York City. And I recorded it with my band there. They were all amazing. And I'm so happy that we did that project because then, of course, moving to Berlin, I had to break up with my band. But that album, it very much has a sense of longing in a lot of the tracks for the world of the rivers and of the mountains and outside of the chaos that is New York City. And then even though then being up in the countryside or in the wilderness, then kind of having a longing almost for the urban life, so it has, but I learned a lot living up along a river, and I learned a lot living in the streets of Brooklyn. But this new EP, I wrote all of these songs while living here in Berlin.
Okay.
So it's a fun project that Marie and Claudio Donzelli plays the piano with us, and also will be the producer of the album. So right now we're looking at 4 tracks, maybe 5. Every day it keeps building that who knows, it might be an album by the end of the year. But it is one that has a lot of themes of course, politics of our time, international politics, not just the U.S., but of course, books are being written now, but also love as well. So, and being in a new place, of course.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. So that's the first part. Wir machen erstmal ein bisschen weiter mit dem Konzert und sehen uns gleich wieder.
Thank you very much. That last song is called Wolf Song, and it was a summer night, and I was at home at my family's farm, and I was sitting on the porch, and then there's our fields, and then a mountain, and I was playing the guitar, and I started hearing the coyotes, yelling or howling, and I sat there and just wrote that song, but I decided that wolves are much more romantic than coyotes, so that's why it's not Coyote Song. And I think that is very true. This next song is a newer song. It's called Midnight. And I wrote it very much with 2 things in mind. And one is love, of course. And the other was just obviously thinking about the state of our world, the state of politics mainly, and how we have to somehow go on with our lives and live our lives even though there's so many things happening around us. That's the song, Midnight. Count the stars, watch the tide, but won't you hold me tight? Midnight. wake with the wind. Won't let those shadows in. Make all wrongs right and forget the night of time to what's gone by. Goodbye. What we give is what we get, and it's these simple things we always forget. There you go, draw another line, but it blackens the sky. We want to see the sunshine. Take my hand, let's make our golden plans. Swing from the trees, swim free. And how the hawks take flight as songbirds sleep at night. What we give is what we get, and it's these simple things we always forget. There you go, draw another line, but it blackens the sky. We want to see the sunshine. What we give is what we get, and it's these simple things we always forget. There you go, draw another line, but it blackens the sky, and we want to see the sunshine. Count the stars and watch the tide. Oh, won't you hold me tight? Good night. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to have Miss Marie Schlemos on the cello. Give her a round of applause. Marlon had said only, usually they're done solo, but I said, but I need Marie. This is a song that's off my last album. It's called Western Skies. You don't have to run or walk 1,000 miles. Look up at the sky. Funny how we fall then we fly. Tell me about yourself. Where have you been? How does it feel when you're alone? Long summer days. Oh, don't you just wish it'd all be this way? My heart's on fire. I won't beat it out. Look I die, gather, form and fly, form and fly. My heart's on fire, I won't beat it out. Look into your eyes, western skies, open the air, longer light, count the hours, those first nights, those first nights. Oh, those first nights. Thank you very much. This is an older song. It's called Wellington. And I lived in Australia for about 3 years, which is where I started writing songs. I was always a singer and an actor and a poet. And I moved to Australia and I lived in a house filled with singer-songwriters, and they were like, but we don't understand why you're not a singer-songwriter. Like, you do all these other things. And I started then writing songs, just being inspired by them. And this was one song that came out of that time. And Wellington is it's obviously the capital or one of the towns in New Zealand, but Mount Wellington is what this song's named after, which is a very high peak in Tasmania. And it's one of the highest peaks in Australia, and it's very windy and very cold. And this is a song that's very filled with longing and sadness. But I love playing it now because it reminds me that no matter how down you may feel or we may be, there's always another side, and you always get over it and become stronger. And this is Wellington. Wind blows harder on Wellington. Stand close to the edge. Breathe the air in. Oh, I used to dance so slow till the morning light would show through the panels on the walls. Now I don't dance at all. Your yellow car wouldn't start in the morning cold. Well, I would laugh, you'd say, well, she's old, and we're all getting that Brunswick roads, unlit street sides. Oh, and how the bats would fly, but my fear I would hide, just to be by your side in 20 minutes time. The wind blows harder on Wellington. Stand close to the edge, breathe the air in. Oh, I used to dance so slow till the morning light would show through the panels on the walls. Now I don't dance at all. Thank you.
So, you and Marie, you're playing together now. How did you find each other?
We found each other actually because our partners play together. Her partner is a beautiful violin player, and mine is a pianist and guitarist, and they play in the same band. And after moving here, I was looking for a cello player, and I mean, she was right there. It was perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. And we became friends instantly.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And tell me something about your future. What's coming up next? What do you have any upcoming projects? I mean, you're recording your EP now, which probably is going to be an album. Nobody knows.
Who knows? I know. Yeah, I do. I have some very exciting projects. We'll be working, there's a new building art space that's opening up called the Loeb Block, and I'll be working out of there. I teach voice as well, and I'll be working there and curating also a music artist program there, hopefully as well. That's a, and then a friend I'm working with over in the States, she's a playwright, and she writes really beautiful folk operas, which are a new thing. And I will be actually scoring her next show and writing the songs for it. So that, in addition to hoping to get a book of poems published, and many, many things in life will be coming up. So it's going to be a big year, but an exciting year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wish you all the best for this.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thanks for being here. And wir machen jetzt weiter mit dem Konzert, gucken uns den Rest noch an und vielen Dank fürs Einschalten und reinklicken und so weiter. Ciao.
Ciao.
Cool. Okay.
Danke. Okay, that was painless. We have 1.5 songs left. And thank you all for coming out and being here. Most of you I don't know yet, but now we know each other. This is a love song, and you'll be very happy to know that it's not a slow song. You know, I think when you first write songs and perform them, you always like to apologize for yourself. But if any of you are here in the room are songwriters, never apologize for yourself. I don't apologize for sad songs. But I do like a happy song. Okay, I think that might be all right. This song is called September. Oh, what can I remember? It's suddenly September, and you are always on my mind. And we fall, we fly, we find our hearts on fire. Well, what is distance? What is time? Can you see the difference behind my eyes? Follow the sun and she'll always lead you home. Why sit there settled when there's a world to roam? How I feel when I'm by the river. It's how I feel when I'm with you. Don't be so careful, no need to take your time. Let your heart run to what it knows is right. How in time we learn the earth circles and turns. Seeds are sown and we know what we've always known. How I feel when I'm by the river. It's how I feel when I'm with you. Oh, how I feel when I'm by the river. It's how I feel when I'm with. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I have one last song for you, and I get to just sing it. And I'm going to have a little bit of water. Sorry for the video camera. And this song is not one I've written, but don't worry, it's in the public domain. I love to end my sets with an old American folk song, and this one's called Shenandoah, and it was written in the early 1800s. And the story is that there was a Native American Iroquois chief named Shenandoah, and he had a very beautiful daughter that all the fur trappers loved. And then they wrote this song, supposedly. So this is Shenandoah. Thank you guys again for being here, and thank you Marlon and Alex TV and LoTechLounge. It's very special. We're very happy to be here. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you away. I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, I love your daughter. Away, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I love your daughter. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you away, you mighty river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you away. I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. Dankeschön. Have a good night. Thank you. Survived another one.